This is DJ coming at you with a little update on the, I think you call it the, excuse me, sorry, the WPL, the WPL little truck here. Yeah. I came up with a significant mod, right? I was driving this little $35 truck the other day. I was taking it to the test. I was driving it, hardcore and racing with it actually around a little track in the backyard. And well, the motor burned up in it. And here's the motor right here. Okay? This is the motor for this little truck. So just to let you know, this motor is going to burn up in a matter of time. And you're going to have to replace it. I wasn't driving it like a trail truck, so it kind of went out early. All right? So that's after some intense driving of, an hour and a half or so. So the motor will burn up on you. But, being into RC, I've been into it, quite a while. I got a variety of these little motors around, right? And I happen to have, let me show you some of the other little motors I have that may work. This motor right here would be perfect if it would work, but it's the top of the motor can is a little bit wide to fit into this tranny. But believe it or not, I just happen to have what do you call it? A motor I bought years ago that I was using on a project, mini low-C micro trekker. It was a guy that was making motors and a motor plate to add more torque to the micro trekker. Well, anyway, long story short, I bought this motor off of him, and I should have filmed it before I put it in there, but I had no idea it was going to work. But it does work. I paid like $50 for this motor. Okay, and it happens to fit right in this WPL Toys transmission. Now, believe it or not, there's no screws holding this motor intact. It's just more of a friction or wedge type of deal. You just slide the motor in, and it's got wedges in there to help keep it stable. And I don't think it'll even come loose. But anyway, that's what you have keeping the motor in there. This motor is has an extreme amount of torque. I don't remember who I bought this motor off of. I'll try to find out who I got it off of and where I can get more. But this is a direct replacement, and it works fine. As you can see, it's very close. Look at the back of the motor. See that? But it doesn't rub, believe it or not. And even if it does, it's so small of an amount. It won't affect the running of it. Anyway, I was able to modify it because where is it? Let me take the body off. Right here is where the motor sits. All I had to do was trim the back of this motor holder right there, and it drops in there like candy, man. It fits in there absolutely perfect. Watch this. Look at this. Hang on a second. Hang on. But it fits in here absolutely perfect. Hang on. I had it in there. I may have it upside down. Let me try it the other way. Let me see. Hang on. I'm trying to remember how I had it in there. Nope. I'm going to go back the other way. Hang on. This is a significant upgrade, gentlemen. Yeah, but look at that. It sits in there perfectly. Absolutely perfectly. Sorry about that. Bad camera. My string got caught. But anyway, it sits in there like absolutely perfect. I may have to trim just a little bit more plastic. But there you go. And this motor has an extreme amount of torque. I probably will not really need to. And it even has brushes on this motor. That's how serious it is. It actually has brushes. So I may not have to replace this motor ever in this little truck. But it adds. This is the motor that WPL, whoever makes this little truck, should have put in there, because it has a massive amount of torque. So I'm really excited about it. I've got lucky and just happened to realize I had that motor here. I'm sorry I can't give you an exact size. But this motor here would have been great to even work, but it's a little bit too long, But this motor that I happen to have right here is perfect. Again, you can kind of get a visual. Let me help you out. Okay, check it out. If the stock motor were to go in there. Okay, hang on. That's not the stock motor. Let me get the stock motor. Hang on, guys. Hang on. All right, this is the stock motor right here. This is it. The stock motor. If it were in this case, it would be about right. Let me line it up. About right there. And you can see how much longer this other motor is, right? But it works, guys. It works perfect. connected it up with the battery. It turned fine. Nice slow rotation, but it's going to have a massive amount of torque. Okay, massive amount of torque. You will be able to trail over anything. Now, the scary part about it, though, is it will break parts. if this thing doesn't have a slipper, if this tranny gets in the bind, it will snap the whatchamacallit. So I'll have to be careful. I'm going to make sure that I only use like the NiCad battery or nickel metal hydride, whatever gives me less torque, because this motor is designed purely for torque, man. So it would tear up. As a matter of fact, I think it might be called the Torque Master or something like that. But I can't remember. I've gotten this motor like 5 years ago or longer, maybe 6 years ago. So it kind of pays to hold on to little RC goodies that you might have around the house, because you never know. You might be able to use them. But again, for those of you, just so you guys know too, I also found out that the Mini Z motor for the Mini Z cars, Kyosho Mini Z, they're a direct replacement motor for this vehicle. Okay? And I took the tranny apart. The tranny looks great. I might need to put some more oil in there. But the transmission looks really good. Really, really, really good. And yeah. So we'll see what happens, man. I'm really excited about this mod that I came up with. All right, guys. I just wanted to share that with you. But again, this motor, the stock motor, it has a time limit on it. It's only going to last so long. Like I said, I got here's another Mini Z motor. So if it burns out, you can replace it with these, and you can do some research and see if they have any motors like this that have more torque than what's offered in the stock motor. You know, check with the Mini Z cars or whatever else and see what different options you may have. I know they got motors that have bearings in them. So yeah, you do have motor options, believe it or not. The Mini Z motor is all you need to do to replace the motor in this little WPL Taurus. I just happen to have this extra motor here that was designed for the trail trekker, or not necessarily designed for the trail trekker, but that works with the trail trekker, and to be used as a crawler motor. Okay, guys? So do your homework. Again, Mini Z motors are a replacement for the stock. I did burn up the stock motor. Where is it at again? There it is right there, yeah. Here's a stock motor, and that's the replacement motor. Again, I can't remember where I got that motor. If I can find out the paperwork, who I bought it from, I'll let you know. Okay? All right, later.